What is going on, everybody? This is Steve Sterling with Sentinel17 Gaming. Thanks for joining me for this video. I greatly appreciate it. Now, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please take the opportunity to do so. If you enjoy this video, hit the like button. If you have something to say, leave it in the comment section below. And if you know someone that might enjoy this video, please share it with them. Now, today's video is about Blood Dragon, but it's not necessarily about the first Blood Dragon. Well, let me explain. As far as Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon goes, it was originally announced on April 1st, right after Far Cry 3 came out, and everyone thought it was an April Fool's Day joke. Of course, it turned out that wasn't the case, and what we got was extremely epic. And even that is putting it lightly. Now, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon is essentially a standalone, I want to call a standalone part of the Far Cry franchise because it doesn't technically take place in conjunction with the other Far Cry games. It kind of happens in an alternate universe, if you want to call it that. But when Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon came out, it really blew our minds with how much homage it paid to the 1980s, with the neon lights, with the cyber soldiers, with all the different little subtle references and mentions scattered throughout the game, and I think that's what made it really great, is that it fully embraced the ridiculousness of the fast forward almost 10 years, and the Far Cry franchise has definitely worn out its welcome with a lot of gamers. Now, I myself am a Far Cry fan, so I appreciate the franchise, but as far as a lot of fans, they think it's run its course. And that's kind of why I think that Ubisoft is going to want to do a sequel for the original Blood Dragon. One, because it was so well received, and two, because it can kind of take a lot of heat off of their franchise. It can also give them leeway with how they proceed with this franchise going forward. The 80s. For those of you that don't know, if you buy Far Cry 6, the Gold Edition, and you get the Season Pass, you also will be getting a remastered version of Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. Just like how those who got the Gold Edition of Far Cry 5 got the Classic Edition of Far Cry 3, which wasn't necessarily a remaster, but they did clean a lot of stuff up. Also, there are different cosmetic items they include in Far Cry 6 for your character that he or she can don, such as the boots, the entire outfit, and the eyepiece, although the eyepiece doesn't tag enemies the same way it did in Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. But I think Ubisoft is not only showing us that they haven't forgotten Blood Dragon, but that they understand it is essentially one of people's favorite Far Cry games, even though technically it's a DLC or standalone expansion, whatever you want to call it. The fact of the matter remains that a lot of people still truly enjoy Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, and I think that a Blood Dragon sequel, even if it was set in the same universe as Far Cry 6, would be very well received, even among people that may not like Far Cry. Whereas Far Cry 6 draws a lot of its inspiration from real-world events, but also from different games like Just Cause 3 and Ghost Recon Wildlands. I think a sequel to Blood Dragon set in the same universe as Far Cry 6 could break away from some of the inspirations that Far Cry 6 used and instead lean more heavily on maybe things that weren't as explored in the first Blood Dragon game that are ridiculous from the 1980s. In my opinion, I think that's where they're going to go next, and they may surprise us after the dust settles, kind of how they did with Far Cry New Dawn, but it really didn't surprise people. It kind of pissed them off. I think some type of new Blood Dragon game would reinvigorate the franchise. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitter at Sentinel17.